Hey gang, I just wanted to check in with those that have taken the spiritual formation assessment tool and give you a tip on that. If you haven't taken it yet, there's a link in the email which accompanies this video. Just click on the link and you can take the assessment. It only takes about 10 minutes. Emails you your results, and then you can pick up one of these free Walking with God workbooks. That's one of the key things to this whole process of learning how to grow in Christ using the assessment tool. So, as you take the assessment, and it's going to give you scores in 4 different categories, and then you can look at those to see what areas you might want to grow in. But there's one thing I started to think about as I took the test, and I've talked to some other people, is that there might just be like one question in the assessment that like piques your interest, and you say, wow, maybe that's an area I need to grow in. So let me give you a couple for instances. For instance, one of the questions is, or statements is, I am a patient person. So if you scored yourself low on being a patient person, that might be something that jumps out at you and says, wow, I wonder why I'm not a patient person. Maybe I need to learn more about what the scriptures teach about being patient with other people or being patient with myself. Another one might be that I use biblical guidelines to manage my relationships and deal with conflict. Now again, that's a tough one, right? And so the Bible has a lot to say about biblical relationships. It has a lot to say about how to deal with conflict with other people. And we could really learn from that. So maybe that's an area that you want to explore to grow in spiritually. Or maybe it's this: I have a plan to read and study the Bible. If you, again, scored low on that, or you don't necessarily have a plan to read or study the Bible, now would be a great time to start. You don't need to wait for January 1st to start reading the Bible. You can start now, and I've got some great resources to help you with that. Or here's the last statement that might have piqued your interest. Of course, there's over 60 statements in the assessment tool, so you get to choose. But here's one: I have a deep and abiding sense of peace and joy in my life. Now, if you're like me, that might not be scored really high on your assessment tool. So you might say, well, why do I not have an abiding sense of peace and joy in my life? What's going on? Are there circumstances in my life that I'm struggling with? Are there relationships I'm struggling with? Are there things at work or in my family or whatnot? So again, that might pique your interest to explore. So it might just be one question out of the whole assessment that gets you moving in the right direction to become a more growing follower of Jesus. So I hope this helps, and I've got more tips to come, but those will happen in the next few days. Have a great day enjoying God.